This presentation covers the life of American author Sarah Orne Jewett, who lived from 1849 to 1909. Sarah Orne Jewett was a sickly child, thus her formal education was irregular, but she compensated by reading from her father's substantial library, which included an extensive collection of literature, but she later said that the best education she received was accompanying her father, who was a physician, on his daily rounds, visiting patients on farms near South Berwick, Maine. In 1863, after reading the Regional Tales of New England by Harriet Beecher Stowe, Jewett expressed her desire to become a writer and record the true lives of the people of Maine, and she purposely set out to gather local legends and folk tales, studied their manners and customs, their peculiarities of speech, and the family histories of local farmers, villagers, and fishermen. She began writing tales and sketches of Maine at age 14, using pen names such as Alice Elliott or Sarah Sweet because she didn't want anyone to know of her literary ambitions. At 18, Jewett published her first short story, Jenny Garrow's Lovers, which was an overly sentimental melodrama filled with literary stereotypes. But 2 years later, her writing had improved so much that she was able to get a short story published in the Atlantic Monthly. She continued to improve, getting published in several of the nation's most prestigious magazines. Her first book was a collection of short stories called Deep Haven. Jewett's best writing was regional and depicted the simple lives of country people in her native state of Maine. Her work emphasized the good, wholesome values of rural people in contrast with the corrupt values of urban life. Common themes of her work are the virtues of village life and unblemished nature, the tenacious resistance to change of rural people, and the discord brought by strangers, especially from the city. These themes are all embodied in her most famous story, A White Heron. Jewett is a realist rather than a naturalist, and her characters have a close relationship with nature and are shaped by their short New England summers and long, harsh winters. Her characters are common people whose lives, manners, beliefs, and New England dialect are accurately portrayed. They are often depicted as innocent, sympathetic, kind, sensitive, and understanding, and they often suffer defeat and hardship. Although some critics have claimed her work stresses character at the expense of plot and action, and that her fiction often borders on sentimentalism, her greatest work, The Country of the Pointed Firs, first published in 1896, has been called the best regional fiction to have come out of the 19th century America.